I'm Hugh Anderson, and this is episode 106 of An Alternate Hue. Let's see what caught my eye recently. From the world's largest energy importer to its largest producer in 20 years, the U.S. continues to show the world how to adapt, pivot, and innovate. Thanks to fracking, the technique used to access oil and gas trapped in rocks thousands of feet under the ground, the U.S. continues to outproduce, well, just about everybody. Now Rosie, the Jetsons maid, has arrived. Almost. Just like the iPhone wasn't the first smartphone, Matic isn't the first robot vacuum. But it's the first one that works the way you want it to. Matic is a fully autonomous robot that sees and cleans your home like a human. It uses 5 cameras and onboard AI to create a 3D Google Street View style map of your home, complete with furniture, floor types, and elevations. Matic knows the breakfast table gets dirtier than the guest bedroom, and it learns your home like a butler would and prioritizes where to clean. Matic also recognizes the difference between spilled juice and dry crumbs and seamlessly switches between vacuuming and mopping on different surfaces. What will we do with all that free time? Now, Elon Musk's ex-AI company took a muddy 140-acre patch of grass and swamp on the Tennessee-Mississippi border and turned it into the world's largest AI data center in 122 days. That's roughly what it takes to build a typical 1,800 square foot house. When told they have to wait a year to pull energy from the grid, they installed 14 natural gas turbines as a temporary power plant. To keep the 200,000 AI chips inside the data center from cooking, they rented a quarter of America's mobile cooling capacity. And when Tennessee permitting got in the way, XAI simply stepped over the state line, leaning on a decommissioned power plant in Mississippi to help power the site. Now, a new artificial intelligence model developed by Stanford medicine researchers and their colleagues can use physiological recordings from one night's sleep to predict a person's risk of developing more than 100 health conditions. Known as Sleep FM, the model was trained on nearly 600,000 hours of sleep data collected from 65,000 participants. Sleep FM analyzed more than 1,000 disease categories in the health records and found 130 that could be predicted with reasonable accuracy by a patient's sleep data. The model's predictions were particularly strong for cancers, pregnancy complications, circulatory conditions, and mental disorders. Alas, it does nothing to stop snoring. Sorry, honey. Now, we've heard a lot about tariffs and the U.S. hard line on our trading partners. There do seem to be some ancillary benefits not getting the same headlines. There's been a significant recent decline in U.S. drug overdose deaths, which was driven in large part by a sudden shift in North America's illicit drug supply. In 2023, according to a new academic analysis published in the journal Science, the drop in deaths likely stems from a decrease in fentanyl potency. Research wrote in a new paper, which in turn might be the result of Chinese government crackdowns on groups that traffic in chemicals used to manufacture the powerful opioid. From about 1980 to 2022, the number of fatal overdoses from all drugs went up about 20-fold, said Peter Reuter, a University of Maryland drug policy researcher who co-authored the paper. And then in June or July of 2023, suddenly the curve turns down. There was clearly some systemic event that drove it down over the next 2 years by at least 1/3. That event, according to Reuter and his colleagues, was a sudden drop in fentanyl potency, leading to a surge in online mentions with terms like drought, as well as a decline in overall fentanyl seizures by law enforcement. More people are surviving cancer than ever before, as the 5-year survival rate across cancer has reached 70%, according to the American Cancer Society's new Cancer Statistics Report. To experts, the figure is a marker of the progress in oncology since the passage of the National Cancer Act in 1971, when only 50% of cancer patients lived past 5 years. For the first time in history, scientists had used artificial intelligence to design the genetic code of a brand new biological organism. In the lab at Stanford University, California, a new virus codenamed Evo 2147 was attacking a colony of E. coli bacteria in a petri dish. The breakthrough marks a turning point in the accelerating field of synthetic biology, allowing scientists to use AI to draw up the blueprints for entire genomes from scratch. Scientists say these developments mark a pivotal moment in the history of life on Earth. Soon, if they're right, evolution will no longer be a matter of gradual incremental change. Instead, entirely new species, and not just viruses, could be designed, crafted, and brought to life in the lab. To be filed under, let's hope they get it right, Professor. Well, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed some of that. We'll be back soon with a couple of other observations that maybe you'll find interesting too. I'm Hugh Anderson, and this has been an Alternate Hue.